Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Coffee Stream, the third episode. And today I am joined by my friend Skep Talk. Hello, Skep Talk.
Hey, Blind. Thanks for having me on. This is a real pleasure. I've listened to you on many streams, and obviously had you on Minions before. So it's a real pleasure to be joining you here in the morning. Even I'm coming to you from Texas, and it's fun to make this Texas Canada connection here on a Friday morning. Fridays are full of optimism, and I'm sure we can infuse this discussion with lots of optimistic cynicism, if there's such a thing.
And we may be joined by Pincalo from the road. I have sent him the link, so if he wants to hop in, then he is welcome to do so. So we've got a whole bunch to talk about. We've got some wonderful things that happened this week in Europe, and I've got a funny. I've seen some tweets about how Trump is complicit with a hurricane. I don't know how that's possible. Yeah. And there's a news story that I found that people are dragging from the 80s, where Trump told an architect to take Braille off of the elevators in Trump Tower, all the way back in the 80s, before the ADA was, a thing. So that must mean he hates blind people, right?
Well, certainly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so we've got lots to cover today.
Yeah. Yeah, he hates widows and orphans. And, the demonization of Trump is to satiric levels.
It
has been for some time. Listen, I was not a fan of the guy. I've never been a fan of the guy personally. I don't watch reality TV.
No.
I don't really care for anything that he's done. I understood him to be a successful developer, and I figured he was probably a pretty good project manager who was in the right place, right time, born into the right family, and, had the right drive and, capability set to become who he became. And I didn't begrudge him any of that. I just figured he was, that type of person, and good for him. Get on with his life. And then suddenly he becomes president, and it's a whole different thing. And several things have to kind of occur to you. I don't know if you meant for the discussion to go down this road, but I think how he became president is actually kind of a fascinating look into why he's doing what he's doing and why he's being successful.
Yeah.
He was successful at beating a bunch of very experienced politicians. And the reason he was successful, in my opinion, was he was capable of differentiating himself from the rest of the field. He was capable of being unique, of being somebody who people became interested in and stayed interested in. And he sold himself successfully as somebody who didn't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
He kind of came out and said, you may not like me, but you know what? I'm not bought and paid for. And the thing was, that was close enough to the truth to where I think that's what's working for him. I think, and here is also what ends up being against him. See, CNN and the mainstream press and Fox News too, everybody has been accustomed to being able to curate the truth. They feed the questions they want to feed, and then they curate the answers that come out of their mouth. What comes out of their editing room and what gets presented on the news.
You may only read what's on the teleprompter.
Exactly. It has a very specific spin to it. And, well, that's not true anymore. This guy gets on the Twitter machine, and he talks directly to the American people. Yes. And there's several things going on. First of all, the American people really like that. That is an enormously popular aspect of this president. And it's to the point where Twitter can't kick him off. They can't ban him.
No.
Okay, that's just a non-starter right there. That's one of the only ways Twitter could kill itself. And the other thing is that there's really not very much that CNN and Fox and the like can do about it. So they have to kind of go along and play along. What the interesting thing is that they're so desperate about it, they're actually trying to encourage people to go down the impeachment road. And it's a tribute to how stupid, how really, truly stupid some members of the political class, the sitting political class, are in our Congress, that they're actually exploring the idea of trying to impeach President Trump. He's done nothing that is remotely impeachable. Okay,
Exactly.
I mean, if you look at what constitutes an impeachable offense, he's nowhere near that, and it would be a blatant political misuse of that aspect of our process. But anyway, so he's been unexpectedly successful, and then on top of it all, he's made some policy decisions that have worked pretty well. He did the right thing with North Korea. He's done the right thing economically with respect to domestic economics. And the other thing is, internationally, he came back and said, and you know, he did this with Canada too. He said, "You guys have been getting too good a deal for too long. We're going to renegotiate some trade deals." And that was the right thing from the standpoint of the United States to do. He doesn't really care that much about the trade deals with Canada, not so much.
No.
What that was a lever to show China that he meant business.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you know, he slapped tariffs on China, and China came back and said, "Well, we'll slap tariffs on you." But of course, China is at like a 30-1 disadvantage, on the tariff leverage. So they're
And
not.
then Canada rolled over like a bitch.
Yeah, Canada said, okay.
You can't with Trump. You can't do that. You can't. He won't respect you.
Yeah, exactly. He will only respect you if you push back.
He has no respect for Trudeau because Trudeau just rolls over and shows him his fucking belly like a dog.
I know. Well, and
disgusting.
That's all that Trudeau knows what to do. That's all that Trudeau knows what to do. So, Trudeau's opening move in chess is surrender. Is to offer checkmate. He's an idiot, and you guys could do better with any person from the first 500 listings in the Toronto phone book, really truly, than Trudeau. But that's another discussion. Anyway, I didn't mean to get that deep into Trump, but if you want to know, so what's going on is suddenly America has a pretty strong president. The old malleable Obama is gone, and now we have a Trump who is cutting back the UN RWA funds. He's cutting back the Palestinian lobby funds that was going straight to the Palestinian leadership instead of the Palestinian people. And he's doing, and he's moving the embassy to Jerusalem where it always should have been. He's doing a lot of right things. He's doing a lot of really good things, policy decisions that really make some sense. As long as he keeps doing that, I'm kind of with Ben Shapiro on this. I'm going to call balls and strikes. If he does something stupid, I'm going to call it stupid. If he does something smart, I'm going to call it smart. And that's where I am on Trump.
Whoa. Sorry to throw you off like that, but I just went to open the story I have about Trump hating blind people. Well, not hating. Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, sure.
And I get this message that says AOL and Yahoo have come together. Before you continue, HuffPost is now part of the Oath family.
Well,
We Oath and your and our partners need consent to access your device. What the fuck just happened?
No, you say no to that. You say no to that. I don't know what's going on, but you're kind of under duress right now. You're in the middle of a stream. Don't make that decision right now. Let's get that figured out later.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I will just be giving you guys the gist of the story.
Yeah. That's wrong. Yeah, with Trump hating blind people. Trump basically gets demonized for, hating everybody. Part of that comes from just the really admittedly crummy way that he treats women.
Okay, so what happened was in this story, the author basically is admitting that they're looking for things because of all the books that have been written about him, and they're fact checking all of these books, and they're trying, and they found this story, and they at first didn't believe this story, but they found it, and apparently way back in 81, Trump was touring a newly built Trump Tower.
Yeah.
And he was pushing the buttons on the elevator and noticed the braille next to them and asked the architect what it was. And the architect was like, well, it's braille for the blind. And he's like, take it off. And the architect's like, I can't. It's illegal to take it off.
Yeah, the ADA, yeah.
And Trump's like, take the fucking braille off. No blind people are going to live here. And everyone's taking that as Trump hates blind people.
Yeah.
And apparently he was calling the architect weak for not taking the braille off. But they're basically looking for something. They're dragging something from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's an asshole.
Yeah. Part of the problem was the architect didn't know how to handle Trump.
No, he didn't.
Yes, sir, and then don't do it. I mean, that's easy. Trump will be off to, his next windmill to tilt with and forget all about it.
Yeah, all he could have said was, okay.
Yeah, okay. Just,
Sure, whatever you say, Mr. Trump.
Right. Yeah.
And then just, but the point is that they're looking for things, and they have to go almost 40 years back now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the equivalent of what they're doing with this guy, Brett Kavanaugh, where he
oh my God,
he pranked some girl when he was 17, and they're saying, well, it's practically rape, and he was 17 years old. Oh, come on, man. Really?
Did you watch any of the hearings?
I watched as much as I could, then I started vomiting, and I couldn't control it.
It was like, listen, you could actually hear the screeching.
Oh yeah.
In the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the protesters. It's disgusting.
And I'm like, this is not how you get shit accomplished. Like, if you're protesting, you do not show up and make yourself look like a insane person.
Yeah. Yeah. But
this stream's about to get crazy. Gutenberg's gonna come in.
Oh my God. Well, there goes all the serious topics. But
no, I'll keep them in line.
Yeah. You and what?
I'll whip him with my cane.
Anyway, he's gonna get confirmed, and the Democrats cannot stand the fact that they're not going to be able to push liberal legislation from the Supreme Court bench.
That better be one big motherfucking cane. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right. How you doing? Good?
I'm doing good. I just got off work a little while ago, so I'm in a mild, somber mood. But how are you guys doing?
Oh, doing fine. Reflecting on the world after a week of madness. What do you think about this? Hey, Blind, is it okay if we switch topics a little bit?
Of course.
What do you think about this nonsense with Europe passing 11 and 13?
I've only heard of everything from second, third-hand knowledge. I haven't really delved into it myself, but at this point, anything the EU does, you can just automatically count me against it at this point. So, as far as I believe it's a DMCA on steroids, from what I understand. And it doesn't sound like a good thing.
Give you a quick rundown of both. I just clipped a few notes. These are from articles, a couple of articles that I got. Article 11 is the so-called link tax. It gives the publishers a right to ask for paid licenses when online platforms share their stories.
That isn't going to be abused.
Well, no, the obvious target is aggregators like Google News. But opponents worry that the law is going to have broader applications. For example, some interpretations have suggested that this might stop ordinary web users sharing news stories. Like you and me clipping an article and sharing a news story. But the text of Article 11 does exempt individuals. It says that the new rights given to publishers shall not prevent, quote, legitimate, private, and non-commercial use of press publications by individual users.
Well, that right there scratches off all YouTubers.
Well, yeah, because if you're getting AdSense, you're immediately commercial. So, however, it's not clear what counts as commercial platform, blah, blah, blah. What about blogs, RSS feeds that aggregate headlines and all that kind of stuff? So
there's going to have to be a defined, clear distinction on what that means.
Yeah.
Well, and who's going to make that? Who's going to make that?
Well, who do you think? The person that came
exactly. And what's their interest? Well, there's going to be help, but that's not that. That is the smaller problem. The bigger problem is the upload filter. The Article 13. It says the platforms storing and giving access to large amounts of works and other subject matter uploaded by the users are liable for copyright infringement committed by users. And that means that they can be sued by the rights holders. So platforms and copyright holders must, quote, cooperate in good faith to stop this infringement from happening in the first place. Difficulty, again, is working out what the provision actually means and how this might be enforced.
Well, that will fall back onto the platform and not the user.
Well,
so the platforms
right. YouTube and Facebook are going to scan every piece of content users share. Right?
They don't have the manpower.
And they're gonna check it against a database of copyrighted material.
But you know how hold on.
Who's gonna do that? God.
Let me exactly. Number one, they don't have the manpower. Number two, I could upload a movie from 2017 and tweak it in such a way to where the algorithm will not catch it. I know how to do that. Matter of fact, anybody can Google on YouTube or just search on YouTube how to do it.
The algorithms are going to change and they'll get smarter and all that. What I'm saying is it's going to be a war. It's going to be ripe for abuse by copyright trolls and trolls. And there's going to be so many mistakes that it's not going to be fair to anybody. The technology does not exist to scan the internet's content in the way that they're
not only that the internet adapts, the internet evolves. You could outlaw.
No, I know exactly. I know where. Go ahead. I know where.
All right. Settle down, Boomer. Too much coffee in the morning, okay?
Hey, it is the coffee stream.
God damn it!
God damn it! It is.
Fucking kids.
Yeah, but people will find a way around this, and I promise you, like a new sort of not like maybe like a 4chan type thing, but for normal people, probably will spring up. And how are you going to say just like an offshore bank account, say someone sets up an entity in Thailand, all right? Yeah. They're not going to be subject to EU laws. So what are they going to do? IP ban everybody trying to
That's exactly what
into Thailand.
That's what they'll try and do, and of course,
how can you do that?
That's trivial. That's trivial to get around. Any first-year computer science student can show you how to get around that.
You set up. I'm sorry, Blind, but real quick, you can set up a VPN,
right?
You can connect to anything in the world, no matter where you're at.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
You can be from Mars.
And Google when China did this, didn't Google say, "Okay, we're out"?
I highly doubt they're going to pull out of China with 1.4 billion people.
They did pull out of China.
Did they really?
Well,
China has their own.
They have their Google. They have Google China.
Yeah, they like they have their own thing, but like Google, it's interesting because even people at YouTube, like there's a couple people in the chat saying Google will just cut Europe off or make a separate like thing for Europe.
That is what they will do. They'll make a separate thing for Europe. Exactly.
Because a lot of the big companies, like search engines and stuff, are not European based.
Yeah.
So how does Europe expect to enforce?
What they'll have to do is they'll have to filter. They'll have to have like a unicorn and rainbows filter for Europe, so that only unicorn and rainbows will come.
Let's get to the underlying thing of why they're doing this. They're afraid of the popular right now that are on the rise, and they're targeting these larger platforms because they know Obama got elected because of the internet. And
no. Wait.
Hold on.
What are you saying?
Can you not interrupt me? Holy shit!
Now
I need to get some coffee if I'm going to keep up with you.
Damn.
Behave.
I'm only teasing. But what I'm saying is the internet got Obama elected in 2008 before the majority of the world was even connected to the internet. Trump got elected because of the internet in 2017, 2018, right? They're afraid. I think the EU is afraid.
Around then.
Around what?
He got reelected. He got elected in 2016. Go ahead.
Well, he got inaugurated in 2017, and it wasn't to 2018 that we seen a major pushback from everything because they're starting to realize that people were able to gather on the internet, and the internet got him elected. I guarantee, I promise you, small boards like 4chan literally had a hand in helping him get elected.
I agree with that,
especially with the younger crowds.
Yep.
Now, I think what the EU is doing now with all the unpopular things they're trying to push onto their citizens, mass migration, super high deficits, all those programs, all that bullshit, to where they're taking advantage of the citizenry that's already there. They're seeing that the rise of like the uprising of nationalism, and they're trying to stop that shit. I guarantee if Hillary Clinton had won, there'd be none of this.
Yeah.
There'd be none of this happening right now.
There would be a lot worse things happening right now. But
the internet would be not.
But the internet would be okay.
Yeah, I look to things like the laws against hate speech. I really think that's what's behind a lot of this. They don't want unpleasant speech. They don't want speech and that's the first place that they can get a handhold controlling the speech of the populace. I don't know why Europe seems to need to do this, but periodically,
for everything I just stated a minute ago, though, my guy, because they're flooding Europe with all these third world people. Well, and people are getting angry about it.
Yes.
Who wants to go to Paris now? Who wants to go to fucking Munich, Germany? Who wants to go to certain places in Sweden?
Go to Sweden.
Anymore?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people are starting to become more vocal, and they're starting to search for outlets on the internet to find people like them that are not happy with the way their country is changing at
You're
such
not
a rapid pace.
To make that comment on Swedish internet, by the way.
Yeah, like that festival where they banned all men.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, come out and fucking. And that's why Trump won, because he spoke directly and he spoke honestly. Yes, he's an asshole, but sometimes the truth fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we needed a guy exactly like him to come in and fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because no traditional candidate was going to do that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Marco Rubio would have been, you know, a milquetoast Republican.
Absolutely. And not only that, he was a part of the Tea Party fucking train that was supposed to drain the swamp, get rid of these people, lower your taxes, get rid of Obamacare.
He is the swamp.
He is now, but I'm sure you're old enough to remember the 2010 fucking Tea Party thing when.
Oh yeah.
Well, it started with Ron Paul, and then fucking it got co-opted by Sean Hannity and fucking all the older boomers at fucking Fox News.
See, those are all big government Republicans, and that's why I didn't believe them.
Oh, they're against Trump too. Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
is there anyone that's not against Trump?
It's not that you're necessarily against him. I'm for him when he makes good policy decisions, and he's mostly made good policy decisions.
Yeah, name one bad thing he's done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his taste in hookers leaves a little be desired, but whatever floats your boat. That's a personal thing.
Hey, well, at least they're of age, unlike a lot of those Hollywood.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, no kidding. At least he's not molesting children.
100%.
Like a Catholic father. Can we talk about the Catholic Church for just a second?
Catholicism is the worst. I put Catholicism damn near at a close second to Islam.
Seriously, I'm with you. 100%. That is evil, and it's supposedly standing for all this good stuff, and it says, all this great stuff and the 10 Commandments, this, that, and the other thing, and then these guys just go and violate every aspect of it. It is evil in a way I can hardly even begin to imagine. And these, when I heard that priest come out and say that the boys were complicit, did you hear that? My head exploded. Well, I mean, I wanted to go and beat him to death.
A lot of people that have never been around the Catholic religion, and I have had friends. The problem is it never went through its protest reformation. It never went through its enlightenment. Catholicism is literally still the same fucking religion it was 2,000 years ago.
Yep.
Where the deity are looked at as God's pathway to God. So when the kids go in there, they're literally told that these people are the representative of Jesus Christ himself.
Right.
And they are above
everything. It was 600 years ago. That's the problem. If it was the same religion that it was 1,800 years ago, it probably would be
not accepted.
It would be more acceptable than what it is right now. But it's all twisted up by basically 1,500 years of messing with it and just humans pouring the poison of their souls.
Well, the Pope or the deity back in the day, they were rock stars. They fucking drank beer, had parties, fucked hookers.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Now you're talking to a steel worker here, so I'm not a historian, so I may fuck dates up just to let the listeners.
Well, my point in saying that is that the Catholic Church of that was selling indulgences in the 1500s it was never properly reformed. What Martin Luther broke away from, when the Catholic Church says, okay, we're going to fix it. Well, okay. They never fix it when they say that. And once again, they're saying, okay, we're going to fix it. And they're not fixing it. They're calling all the bishops back to Rome. And what they're doing is not fixing it. Okay, they're not firing anybody. They're not getting rid of anybody. They're not hanging anybody. I mean, they need to be getting rid of people permanently.
I don't think people realize they were literally the political class of, like, if you were to look at them from looking back from today, they were literally the entrenched. They're the Dianne Feinsteins of this generation. You know what I mean? They're not going to give up power. Yeah.
They have a tremendous amount of power right now, and they can feel it, slipping away in some areas and growing in other areas of the world. And they want to grow that power. They want it to continue to grow. And South America and parts of Africa, and those are their growth markets. They don't want that to slip away. They don't give a shit.
Do you think the Hispanics are really? I mean, I know they're predominantly Catholic.
It's still growing in South America, so I don't know. The demographics are very encouraging. Their point of view.
I've known a few staunch Catholic Hispanics kind of growing up, and they never really seemed to care so much about the Pope. And another thing is, they really didn't seem to mourn the religion like a lot of the Irish Catholics do.
Yes,
which is kind of strange.
It's hard. Hispanics are not monolithic. I mean, Irish are much closer to being monolithic than Hispanics because Hispanics from Cuba are very different from Hispanics from Ecuador, who are different from Hispanics from Castile, Spain, who are different from Hispanics from Argentina.
All of them I've noticed, because I've met a lot of different Spanish people from many different countries.
Yeah.
And they are just happier.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
They're festive.
Even when they're angry, they're like a different kind of angry.
Well, they're passionate, and they're passionate about living.
That's the word. It's passionate. Yeah. They're not moody. They're moody, but they're not like that brooding. You know what I mean? They
never seem tired of life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they never have ennui. They never have these moments where I'm so tired of life. They never have that. They're always out there taking part in, even when they're sad, even when it hurts. They're reacting to that, and then they're quickly into recovery, and then going on with some other part of life. Yes, they're very passionate. They can be very volatile. I mean, I realize I'm making gross statements about a group of people, and I don't mean to stereotype people, but the people I have known who come from Hispanic cultures, the ones that I have been privileged to know have been very passionate, very full of life. And that's influenced, obviously, my take on it. It's not to say they're all that way. That's just, what I take away from it.
We've got a half Latino in the chat that says passion is a good word to describe it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to deport the Hispanic men out of this country. However, keep some of the Hispanic women. Oh God, they're so hot.
Gutenberg.
I have a very interesting story about how I am here in the United States. If you happen to be German from Pennsylvania, or just German in general, more than likely you fled from the Catholicism that was going on in Germany and Europe during between 1650 and early 1800s. And what it was a lot of Germans that came over were Lutheran or Anabaptist, which is Lutheran is just a sect of Anabaptist. Or no, it's the other way around. Anabaptist is just a sect of Lutheranism. But when I was younger, I am the youngest of 7, and my grandfather was born in 1910, somewhere around there, and he worked on the docks in Philadelphia. But right around the time, a lot of the Irish it was kind of petering out. But my great grandfather told my grandfather that the Irish Catholics that were coming off the boat were the dirtiest of the dirty human scum of the earth.
Yep.
He hated them. He hated them with such a passion that it carried on. Like, I still fucking talk shit about the Irish, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like it doesn't matter to me. But my father hated him. My grandfather hated him. He hated the Italians. Because literally 4 or 5 generations ago, my family had to flee southern Germany.
My grandfather used to tell me about the signs that he saw said Irish need not apply in New York City.
Well, I wonder if it was because Germany became a lot more Lutheran.
Well, it's during Martin Luther.
Yeah, and the Catholics, like the Reformation, was not good for the Lutherans.
Well, when Gutenberg, when it was able to be the Bible was transcribed from Latin into German, which the common people could actually read.
Yeah.
People started taking the word of God and started melting it into their own way, and then you had all these offshoots happen. You had, like, the Anabaptist, the Lutheran, Amish, Mennonites. There's so many different sects of basically Lutheran, which is the German Reformed. It means we believe in God, however, we don't believe in
we
like
don't
the
believe
Pope
in
centralized type shit. Yeah, I you know what? I should read up more about my fucking history so I could actually have a discussion about this. But the Pope was waging wars on the Anabaptists in southern Germany and the Lutherans, and that's why a lot of Germans fled over to Pennsylvania. By the hundreds of thousands, they poured off into the ports of Philadelphia.
Well,
so I'm sort of a refugee myself.
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
I mean, in a way, I guess.
Well, aren't we all though? Like Canada and the US were founded by people who wanted a new way of life.
Right.
They didn't want to live like the Puritans didn't want to be persecuted for being stuck up crazy people, so they left. And and we all seem to forget, like it's very annoying that we all seem to forget that everyone here was once an immigrant, but then we can't have uncontrolled immigration, but we do, like, we were immigrants ourselves at one point.
Well,
like,
no one really owns land. I mean, when the
No.
when the Asians crossed the land bridge over in through Alaska and became the Native Americans, like, were they like, all right, fuck the Russians, we're just gonna go over and become American Indians? Like, people don't just sprout up out of the ground.
Yeah.
We're all, the whole world is, I mean, obviously came out of Africa. That's what the modern DNA scientists tell everybody. And people just moved around, and it's just a constant war for land and resources. It's been happening since the beginning of time.
That's true. One of the peculiar blindnesses or failures to understand is the context, the changing context in which immigration happens. I mean, there's a very different context in which immigration happened, say, in the 15th century, 1492, and Columbus, checking out Hispaniola, and what happened over in the next couple of hundred years, and a settled country with borders that has a pretty fine-tuned economy and depends on a mix of people being able to work, be able to work a number of jobs and control its unemployment rate so that the economy can run at a certain rate and expand.
Basically, what you're saying is, once one culture builds something, they don't want other people coming in unfettered.
What I'm saying is it's so different from one period to another, yet what you hear from the open borders crowd is, it was open then, let's open it now, because nothing has changed and everything has changed. It's like they don't understand how much has changed and how ruinous it would be for us to have, say, 3 million Syrians come into Texas.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Well, and it's
what
crazy.
That's what a guy was talking about doing the other day. He said, what the best thing that could happen in the United States would be put 3 million people, take them from Syria and put them in Texas.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work at all.
Hell yeah. Have a Syrian city in Texas.
Well,
where they spoke nothing but Arabic. Wouldn't that be great?
In our region alone,
that would be war.
In 2017, when that first wave of immigrants, like when everybody was bringing in immigrants, right?
Yeah.
Canada brought in that, I can't remember how much it was, 50,000 or something like that at once.
Yeah.
They sent 15,000 of them to my region.
How'd that work out?
My region is only about 750,000 people. So they sent 15,000 people into a region with 750,000 people. None of like the subsidized housing waiting list went from 3 years to 10. The child care waiting list went from a year to 3 years, like the subsidy child care waiting lists.
Yeah.
Daycares were full. We like none of us that were living here first, like none of the citizens were able to get housing, were able to get childcare.
Right.
Like food banks were being emptied.
But here's what they thought. They said, we're going to increase the population by about 2.25%. I just did that's math in my head.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, that's about the right order of magnitude. It's about 2%.
Poppy's here. Hi, Poppy.
So we're going to increase it by 2%. We'll be fine. The problem is that when the 2% that you're increasing, that all goes into the stuff like waiting lists for subsidized housing, all the stuff for subsidized food, all the stuff that the state benefits, everything, not the handouts, the things that the state provides people who need things provided for them because they can't or won't provide things for themselves. All that goes straight to that bottom line. And what happens is it disadvantages everybody in that pool. They didn't think about that. They thought, well, it's going to affect everybody in the economy equally, but it doesn't affect everybody in the economy equally. It affects people in the very lowest end of the economy vastly disproportionately by flooding that resource need pool, the needy, that pool of needy people by vastly increasing it, and not increasing the resources that are allocated to that pool of needy people. It's so wrong and so sick and so bureaucratically pig-headed.
You know what the problem is with it is they're getting something for nothing.
Yes.
They're economic migrants,
Yes, they are. That's exactly what
absolutely.
When America was founded, the English and the Dutch came over here. They founded the land. They pioneered it. They explored it. The Germans came in. They plowed the lands, built factories, built farms, built all that other good fucking shit we enjoy today. The Irish came. They went to the docks. They went to work. They went to war. As much as I don't like them, they fucking served their part. The Italians came. I don't know what the fuck they did, but I'm sure they did something. Right?
That's where
whatever they did. The Polish came. I know a lot of in northeastern Pennsylvania. They went right into the goddamn fucking factories and right into the fucking.
They went into the mines too,
and in the mines as well. And every culture that landed on the shores of America prior to 1960 literally laid claim to their part of America and helped build the infrastructure in Canada too.
Absolutely.
So when you bring in a whole bunch of people that literally have no fucking stake in the game,
and say,
they get handed the shit that generations of men and some, I guess women too, have built and get handed. And you got people, people in fucking need, whose grandfathers plowed the land, built the fucking factories, and they're getting priority over those fucking men. That's what really fucking agitates me. And that's why I think a lot of people are turning to fucking nationalism. Or just staunch fucking fuck you, no way, no more. And they're being called racist because they're not accepting these fucking economic migrants that want something for nothing. Fuck that shit. I don't care if your country's war torn.
Excuse me, I got FedEx walking up the street. I got to get there before the dogs.
No problem.
Hang on.
No
I'll be
problem.
right back.
Yeah. So that's where I fucking stand on it. I don't know. And then you see a guy like Trump, and I think that's what a lot of people, maybe with my mindset, and they fucking love the guy. like I've explained to somebody else, it's been like a 30, 40-year house party, and your dad finally comes home and tells you to clean your room and get a job, and people don't want to.
Well, and I'm getting, like, me and Pink Hollow are being called freaking alt-right by family members because we're not, because we call out this stupid ridiculousness. Like, thank God my father was, when my uncle did that, my father kind of pulled him aside and gave him shit. But we were sitting there going like, no, we're not alt-right. We don't think that this is okay. Like, you can't just come in and ask for something for nothing.
Right.
Like,
they're not building railroads. They're not contributing anything. What kind of jobs are these people going to take? How are they going to contribute to society and help it grow? Now, when they say like multiculturalism, I mean, if your culture is compatible with another one, I mean, we could import probably a fucking million Eastern Europeans now, and it would probably take one generation to assimilate. But how many generations is it going to take for someone from Syria to immigrate? We might as well just you might as well just dump fucking Catholics from 300 years ago onto the shores of America and be like, here you go, enjoy.
Yeah, language is a huge problem. Language and culture, it's just a huge problem.
I get scoffed at by the Muslim families when they see me alone out with, like, they're the babies in daycare now. But when I used to take him for walks, and because we have a lot of,
you don't go out without a burqa, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
No. Are you crazy?
I go out without a burqa, and I have my cane, and I have my baby on my back. So I'm totally haram. I'm totally.
There's nothing wrong with shaming a culture to act correctly. It's happened to every culture that's landed.
Oh, get this, Gutenberg. You think that's bad? You think that's bad? When I lived in my apartment building in 2012, they used to yell to try and make me jump, and they would slam doors in my face.
You told me about that. Where are the Western man beating the shit out of these dudes?
Right.
Oh, they're cuffed.
I know. And, that's why I give people shit for listening to anime and all that fucking weird trap shit. Whatever the fuck it is.
We Texas boys know how to load our shotguns with rock salt.
Yeah, I know, but it ain't even about
stop to that.
It doesn't even need to be that level of a fucking extreme. Just where are the fucking Western men? Why are they not? Why are they not kicking the shit out of these people? Is basically what I'm saying. I can say that from my pulpit here in my lily white north central Pennsylvania town. I mean, Jesus Christ, we don't let the minority problem get above 1% here where I'm at. To be fair, so I don't have to deal with any of this shit. But I mean, Jesus Christ, when I was growing up, like that shit would not happen. It would not fly. And I'm only fucking 39.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not that old. I'm technically I'm a first year millennial.
What do you do when the police come to you blind and say, okay, these guys were pushing you and shoving you and closing doors and throwing firecrackers at you, and I guess they kicked you and punched you a little bit, but you're
really?
Okay. You're okay, right? And you say, yeah, I'm okay. I'm not hurt too bad. I'm a little bit sore. And they say, okay, so no harm, really. Would it be okay if you just, wore some head covering and maybe something across your mouth? We feel like that would, help the problem. What are you going to say to them then? Because I know I'm doing this for a reason.
Oh, okay.
What are you going to say to them? Because that's coming.
Yes.
That's what the British police are saying now to people. It was fascinating to hear this. I actually saw this recorded where the British guy said, you're causing a disturbance. What disturbance am I causing? All I'm doing is standing here. Well, you're causing tension. You're causing stress, and that's causing a disturbance. That's breaking the law. I'm going I'm going to handcuff you and take you to jail if you don't leave.
Some Tommy Robinson shit.
Yeah, it was. In fact, it was related to that. And so this person was just standing there, okay, being videoed by a friend, and they had to leave as a result of that. This is coming. What are you going to do? Where are you going to make your stand? When do you say, no, I'm going to stand here, and the cop says, well, I'm what I'm afraid is going to happen is you're going to cause them to have stress, and they're going to start hitting you. And in doing that, you, blind, are going to be guilty of a crime. And so we're going to be charging you with that because you're thinking that now. That's actually a crime currently in the UK. What are you going to do? I'm very interested in your answer.
I would say I would look them dead in the face, and I would say then you are going to have to put handcuffs on a blind person and take the blind person to jail, and you're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life.
Good answer.
And you know what? They'll do it.
That's fine.
The cucks will do it.
That's fine.
Do you know what kind of media?
Because there will be people who will not be fine with it.
Do you imagine your Patreon numbers after that?
My God, I would, that's the kind of thing that I would go on the road just to crusade for her. I truly would.
I would totally. It would be scary as fuck. It would be scary as fuck to be put in jail, but I would be like, no, you are not doing. You can put me in jail, and then you can have that on your conscience for the rest of your life.
For my American ears, this sounds so fucking strange watching this from afar.
I know.
Like when I talk to people, like we all know a bunch of people out in the UK, and
of
course,
Canada's not quite here yet. But they're on the fast track.
They have girls on their money.
When I hear about people getting arrested for a fucking meme or a joke, that blows my mind in so many fucking directions I can't even describe. And you know what it has done in my later years in life? It really makes me appreciate the freedom that our grandfathers fucking fought for and died for. Like, that sounds so cliche when you're younger, when you're in your 20s. It sounds like just some fucking, some old men in the background talking, and it just kind of washes over you, and you don't really get to soak that in until you get a little older and you realize the world is fucking crazy. The world is fucking insane, and it is getting infinitely fucking crazier by the minute.
I just want to say, Hog Silk said in chat that they'll take you away regardless of your disability. That's fine.
Yep.
But they still have to live with it.
Think of that Patreon, girl. Yeah, we have zero fucking Muslims where I live. Like that's not even a fucking thing here. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how I would react or what my thought process would be. But I can tell you one thing: it would not be pleasant. And there are a lot of people around me. There's where I live. We're in the Rust Belt. Like, I am surrounded by a bunch of blue collar, don't give a fuck type dudes. They're basically Trumps with no money.
Yeah.
And they would not fucking stand for this happening. After a few incidents, there would be people literally targeting those people.
Yeah.
And watching them and making sure that shit never happened again.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
just
Goodberg. When I think of you, I think of the movie The Deer Hunter.
Which character?
Actually, all of them.
God damn, Pincalo.
I want to be Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher Walken, the Christopher Walken character.
Not De Niro. No. Anyway.
Pincalo says where you are, they don't have Muslims because the blacks will fucking shoot them all. Holy shit, dude.
Where I'm, that's
okie doke.
I would love for they did import.
I love Pincalo. He's amazing.
I would like to try to see them try to change like a predominantly black neighborhood with like 10% of these people. And see
that would
how quickly that shit would get. Imagine some fucking black girls out in the street doing double dutch twerking and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And oh god, yeah,
yeah.
that's all right. Yeah, you know what? Now I'm for a little bit of fucking Syrian immigration just into the heart of fucking Chicago.
Could you imagine?
Happens.
Could you imagine a
Like
black
cockfighting.
woman watching a Muslim man giving his wife shit?
Oh,
That
man.
would not. No, that would not go. She'd have her phone out, and it would be in video, and she'd
Yeah.
be like, what are you doing talking to her like that? What's wrong with you?" Like,
No,
she
actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm sorry to cut you off there, Boomer. I have seen a couple black girls that run around here with those fucking head things.
Yeah.
Not the full burqa, but the what is it? The
hijab.
The yeah. I've seen a few.
Chador.
I've seen a few of those. However, I know this bitch is be eating bacon. Like, you can't fool me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not real Muslims. They just want to fucking be different, I think.
Yeah, no, get one of these, turf apes.
Yes.
Come up on one of these guys, one of these little Muslim men, giving his wife a Quranic inspired beating. It says in the Quran that I'm supposed to be there. And
I think I was Indian, my dude.
Yeah, no, this is as close as I can get.
We have a couple Indian families, not near me. I mean, they're on the other side of the border.
Actually, there are a lot of Indian Muslims.
Those Indian guys, I thought a lot of them were Hindu, but their families, I mean, they focus on family and education. Yep. They're not into that weird fucking voodoo.
Also, if you ever know any Pakistani Muslims, they kind of talk like they have that Indian lilt. A lot of them originally came from India.
Mm.
Back when Pakistan was created, there was basically a big migration of Muslims out of India and toward Pakistan, because that was the reason Pakistan was created, because the Hindus and Muslims were killing each other, and everybody thought that was a bad idea. So they said, let's have a special country for you.
Yes.
That's interesting. Do you guys know who Dan Carlin is? He does.
That sounds
Dan
very
Carlin,
familiar.
yeah. Why do I know who Dan Carlin is?
He puts out those history audio books that are like hours and hours long, and they are fucking amazing.
I haven't read any of them, but I've heard of him.
Oh, that's right. I'm like, you don't read, you listen.
I can get Braille, but Braille is expensive, and they usually focus on doing like bestsellers or classics.
Well, they don't. I don't think I mean, some of them may be transcribed into.
They might, but
they're
probably on Audible.
Yeah, but hey, hold on. There's a series called Wrath of the Khans.
Ooh.
About Genghis Khan rolling through like the Middle East and destroying everything in the mid 1400s. And
yeah, I actually saw a review of that specifically on Amazon. I was looking at that a couple weeks ago.
It is a great 8-part series. Each part's about an hour and a half long, but I promise you it's not fucking boring.
Yeah.
And it goes into detail about how Genghis Khan sent a couple of his guys into modern day Baghdad and required the king or the ruler to send him tribute, or they're going to show up and just take everything in the city. Well, the king refused, because back then this was it Prussia, or not Prussia, fucking the Persian Empire.
Yeah.
And this part, they were still a fairly modern fucking, decent empire. Well, he refused to give Genghis Khan any tribute, so he came in and literally, because they were so well at keeping records, those records are still around today. And one of the guys that was on the battle scene when he attacked Baghdad said the rivers ran red with blood and black with ink. And what he did is ran into the city and killed everybody. And you want to know how crazy this motherfucking dude was? He left for 3 days, came back, and killed anybody that fucking hit or survived.
Wow.
And it is such a great 8-hour fucking series of Genghis Khan and how badass that fucking dude really was. I suggest everybody. It's free too, I believe. Just search fucking Dan Carlin on Google, and
we've got
free
6 Audible credits, so I just told Pincalo to look them up. Yeah,
I saw that.
Oh, I wish I would. I wish I was better at telling stories.
I
man.
wanted to point out something in chat. We have a couple of good thinking people, in my opinion, in chat. Churchy McBiscuit points out the black community is just as complacent as any. Look how they are being displaced from their traditional neighborhoods in LA by the Latino community. That is a really good insight, and one I hadn't thought to make. So thank you, Churchy. Also from him, Sikhs are good people, and I agree. I could not echo that strongly enough. They integrated in Britain and are some of the most proud to be British. Also, Hawk Silk says a lot of Sikhs came to the UK in the 70s, not one problem. They integrated into the British culture while still keeping their own. That's absolutely true. The Sikhs are amazing, and they've done the same thing in the United States too.
In Canada as well.
Yeah, in Canada too.
They're very proud to be Canadian, but they're also very proud to be Sikh, and that's just fine.
Precisely. Every one of them, will have a knife hidden on their body. I guarantee it, and they're proud of that Sikh culture, and but they speak English, and they're proud to be American, proud to be Canadian, proud to be British. Pardon me?
They what?
Do they all look like Bunty King?
No.
No.
You sure?
But anyway.
Yes.
Those are the ones with the turbans, right?
Yeah, they're the ones with the really perfectly dressed turbans.
Perfectly dressed turbans.
Yeah, it's like really tightly.
It's very fitted.
I get it. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's just after 11, and I usually take questions from chat. And now that I have guests, you guys can ask me questions too if you want about anything. Gutenberg, you usually have questions about.
I'm just used to the yelling on the microphone, man. We're like talking about actual fucking subjects, and I'm coming off like a moron. So, all right. Geez, do I have any questions for?
Boy, I have one thing I'd like to get out there.
Oh, okay.
That is, how would you like to be a Jew in Britain right now?
I would not.
Yeah, I mean, think about all the import of. They've imported so much anti-Semitism in the form of Muslims who, in their religion, are urged to kill Jews.
Yes.
And then the head of one of the principal political parties, who has a real likelihood of becoming the prime minister of the country, Jeremy Corbyn, is a vicious, proven anti-Semite who barely tries to even pretend that he's anything but. I mean, if I was a British Jew, I would be thinking, yeah, this is 1938 Germany. I'm gone.
At this point, what else could you think?
Yeah, what else could you think? Exactly right. And
they're allowed to be blatantly, openly anti-Semitic.
That's right. The government is putting up advertisements in the subway stations that say Israel is an apartheid state. Israel is, all this, pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel stuff, saying that, Israel is vicious and hateful, and it's all this one-sided crap that is based on lies. And if you bother to look at the truth, has absolutely nothing to back it up except the hatred of British anti-Semites like Corbyn.
Good answer.
Hateful motherfucker.
I have a question in the chat. Someone for me. Churchy McBiscuit. Why does Gutenberg dislike the Irish so much? Not all Irish are the same.
Hashtag not all.
My dude, it is more Catholicism I had a problem with, and this is generational hate, okay? My grandfather before me hated the Irish because of the Catholicism. And back in the day, I don't know if you're American or not, but when the Catholics started landing on the shores of America, it was mainly Protestants, Lutherans, just that run-of-the-mill Christians. And the Catholics were hated because most of the people that immigrated to America were fleeing the Catholicism. is basically what it was.
Aries C asked, oh, sorry, Gutenberg.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Aries C asked, will I be able to watch you after the articles are on? I hope so. I hope you can. I'll try not to be too edgy.
How does your elections up there work? Are they on a cycle like in America? Like when is the next prime minister election, or how does that shit even work up there?
So we have a system called first past the post.
Okay.
And our elections are every 4 years, like the states.
Okay.
So unless the government fucks up so badly that a vote of no confidence is called, which if Trudeau keeps going the way he is, that might happen.
Do you think he could get no confidence?
He might. It's happened with other prime ministers.
I know. I'm prayerfully hoping that Canada throws that bum out. I mean, he is just.
If he doesn't get no confidence, he's not going to get reelected.
I truly hope not.
He's pissed off way too many people. He's pissed off people who voted for him.
I don't want to inflict Dan Ford on anybody.
Rob Ford. Right?
Doug Ford.
Doug Ford. Who's
Doug
the one
Ford.
that did crack?
I said Dan. I meant Doug.
Rob's the one who did the crack, but he's
Rob's
dead
awesome.
now.
Oh, did he die?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
Rob
stomach
is,
cancer.
Rob is dead.
That guy was awesome.
Yeah, Rob is.
He was a Trumpy
via
type
Ouija
character.
board. But yeah, it's Doug Ford, not Dan Ford. But anyway, he's not necessarily my favorite because I don't think he's a small government guy either. But he would be an amazing statesman compared to Trudeau, and that's saying something.
I gotta address something in the chat. Churchy Miss Biscuit again. I get the anti-Catholic part. Both sides are Catholic. Wait, both sides are I don't know what you're referring to. And I'm anti-organized religion. I think most religions make most people weak. I don't know. I think religion, if I'll just pick Lutheranism or just being Lutheran. I believe it builds a good moral scaffolding at a young age. I don't believe in a God in the way that most people would. I believe there's probably something. I don't know. I think I'm agnostic at this point. But I don't think religion, as far as building morals or as a scaffolding for life, treat others well, all that kind of shit that most religions, barring the bad ones, actually do preach. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not for me. But I tell you one thing, I'd rather live in a community of Christians than I would in a community of full-out atheists. That's just my point of view. Like everyone around, most people around me, I don't think they're religious. They'll tell you they're Christian. They might go to like mass maybe before Christmas. That might be it. They'll say they believe in God, but do they really? I don't know. But they're kind, nice people that were raised on a really good moral foundation. So I don't have a problem with Christianity as it is in general, but it's not for me.
Who was it who asked? Somebody asked if the UK was going to be, where is it? I saw it just now. It was from Ghost Dog. It was like, do you think that the UK is going to turn into a Hitler Germany or something like that? I can't find the question.
I'm willing to bet a lot of those Muslims into Germany actually fucking thought Hitler was a decent person. I'm willing to bet. I mean, if your God tells you to kill a certain amount of people of a certain religion, and you immigrate to a country that's known for having a guy that killed a certain amount of people against the religion you're about, I mean, probably could turn into a Nazi Germany situation if they become a majority. Only it would be less organized because the Germans were very well organized. It would just be goats in the street, chicks dressed in fucking trash bags, beheadings. You know what I mean? It'd be like a third world Reich. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting image.
I'm so tired. I don't know. Why I
Chicks
don't
and
make
garbage
it.
bags. Welcome to Arabia.
Well, I'm probably gonna wrap it up soon because I don't want to run into the Kumite because I try not to go past 11:30.
There you go.
Should
be an interesting one today too.
Yeah, it should. I have no idea what the fuck happened last night because I fell asleep, so I want to watch and find out.
I can recap because I was at work all day on Twitter.
I know the basic, like I know that there's a thing, but I don't. Yeah.
It might be Mr. Mediker versus Tonkasol on the Kumite.
Yes, it might.
It might be.
I don't want to miss
that.
Happening. What are Tonka and Jim?
We don't know. Or I don't know. And so
Okay.
I just want to go find out.
I will lay out the accusations. Apparently, I haven't witnessed it. I don't know if it's true or not, but evidently Jim on one of his streams, Mr. Mediker, supposedly, allegedly doxed somebody on a stream. And
Jim did?
This is from what I gather from Twitter. Don't take my word on it, but this is what I'm gathering. And Tonka Sol kind of called him out on it a little bit. If it's true or not, I do not know. Yeah. And they had a back and forth, a little spat. And then Mr. Mediker was on the kill stream, the Ralph Retort, whatever, and was continued to banter against Tonka. So it is the morning after, and it might be a good show if you guys want to check that out.
I always end before the Kumite because I like to watch it. So I don't.
But to be fair, he plays 30 minutes of music before the stream starts.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So I'm gonna wrap it up pretty soon. If you guys liked it and aren't subscribed, please think of doing so. If you enjoyed what you heard and you feel that you are able, you can either become a patron or hit up Streamlabs.
Give the blind girl money.
I always thank my contributors. If it happens after the stream, you get thanked on the next stream. I always thank my people because I appreciate it. I don't like languishing on disability, so this is my little way of trying to help my family out. So
what about maybe I'm sorry to cut you off, but what about maybe giving them a little perk, like adding them into the description of the YouTube stream, maybe like shout out for this.
Hey, you know what? I didn't think of that, Gutenberg. Thank you for that.
Good idea.
That's a great idea. I think I will take that advice.
That's the least that you can do.
You will be mentioned in
now give this blind girl money. Fuck's sake, she's blind. Have you no heart? God.
Oh God.
Degenerates.
Well, this was an awesome stream.
Call them fucking degenerates. That'll motivate them. Good thinking.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can strong arm these motherfuckers to get.
No, that's fine.
This is go one of two ways.
That's really the Christian thing to do.
I'm not Christian, motherfucker. I'll run up in your house and take your money and convert it into their Play-Doh money and give it to her.
Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I don't trust the fucking country that has broads on their money.
Yeah. This has been so much fun. Blind. We should do this again. We should do like a Blind Press, Gutenberg, and Skep reunion stream periodically. What do you think?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Only if you keep your boomer ramps to a minimum.
Oh, fuck off.
And we don't talk about serious subjects that I know half about. And I sound like a moron on a microphone. If I can come on here and just yell at people for fucking an hour, that'd be great. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah. Stick to your strengths.
Thank you very much, Churchy. I just saw your message.
We wrapping it up there?
Soon I think I'll end it at 11:20. So we got about 5 more minutes.
Ooh, round numbers. I like that. Anybody got any more questions for the blind girl? Come on, people. I don't have anything. I really don't.
I listened to the Minions stream where you were asking Pincalo all the questions, and I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was hilarious.
I don't even remember what I said, to be fair. Maybe something about him hiding in the other room or something.
Yes, that was one of them.
Here, I'll share a few aphorisms from the notebooks of Lazarus Long.
Stop using big words.
Yeah.
Too early.
A few witty sayings from
Thank you.
one of my favorite science fiction authors, Robert A. Heinlein.
Ooh.
All men are created unequal. Also, money is a powerful aphrodisiac, but flowers work almost as well.
Bullshit.
And men rarely, if ever, manage to dream up a god superior to themselves. Most gods have the manners and morals of a spoiled child.
Nice.
Let's see what else.
All right, so send blind press roses.
You can have peace or you can have freedom. Don't ever count on having both at once. Place your clothes and weapons where you can find them in the dark. Very important.
She can't see, dickhead.
That's really, it's doubly important for her.
Everything is blind. Don't need to be dark.
Yeah.
You insensitive prick.
My prick is very sensitive. Thanks.
I think
It's old.
Gutenberg
It's not
needs
dead.
sleep.
No, I'm good, man. I can fucking finally.
Oh,
So-
Churchy, why does Trudeau care more about sock color than his country, especially Alberta?
Oof.
I
right.
don't know.
I'll end with this. A woman is not property. And Islamic husbands who think otherwise are living in a dream world.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's something to be said about some old school, the broad stays home, the man goes to the factory. I like that shit. If that's ownership, I'm all for it.
Well, I think we're gonna
Pop out a few
On-
puppies.
on that note. On that note, I think we're going to end it. I want to thank Skep Talk and Gutenberg for
Thank you.
for coming and hanging out. This was really fun. I like having guests on Fridays. This is fun.
Are you doing this every day now, Blind? I'm
I
sorry.
do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Man, you should do it every day for like an hour. Just get on here and just start talking shit.
I may do it every day because I'm not dealing with the stupid. There's a video coming out about toxic people, and you'll see what I mean. I may do Tuesday and Thursday as well. But also tomorrow night at 10 is the Star Trek stream, and we are reviewing The Cage, which is the pilot episode of the original series.
Oh, do you know what else comes out today?
What else comes out today?
Predator.
Oh shit!
And I'm not gonna
With the
lie.
female predator?
No, it's a male. It's a male predator. Evidently, there's an alpha predator no one knows about, and they're gonna find out about today. I'm actually going to see that here in 40 minutes. I'm a Predator fan. I hope they didn't ruin it. The trailers look good, so I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna check it out.
Nice.
The Predator, yeah. Classic movie, 1987.
Yep.
You know, the actual guy that played the first dude that gets killed by the Predator is actually the one directing this.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting little factoid.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Very cool.
I'm gonna keep rambling.
Have fun. Let us know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you guys watching The Predator? Jesus. I should be lining up, man.
I'm going to rewatch The Cage.
What?
Yes, so am I. I'm going because I still have to get through that giant chunk of no dialogue and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. It'll be the third time I've watched it.
Yeah. Yep.
Top of the hour. You got to wrap it up.
That's okay. We'll do it. We can do it.
We'll shut our mouths. Wrap it up. I'll shut up. I'll turn my mic off.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out. It means a lot. I'm glad we had fun. And I'll see you guys on the Star Trek stream tomorrow night at 10. And we'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern for the next coffee stream. Actually, also, tune in on Sunday night at 9:30 for the Blind and the Special, where Pinkalo and I will be talking about, I'm not sure yet, but there will be fun had by all, and it will be on this channel. So,
watch it.
Thank you so much for having me on Blind. It was really fun.
No problem at all. It was
Like I
fun
said,
for me as well.
It was fun enough. I think we ought to do it again sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you want to have me on to yell at this boomer again for a little bit, I mean, I'd be more than happy to join. As long as we don't talk about fucking actual dates or events, because I'll fuck up.
It's all good. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.